Hi, welcome. My name is Shannon and today we are going to be doing a video on using the new Iron Orchid Designs 2024 release. Specifically, we're going to be using the Conservatory Labels Mold and the Apothecary Labels Stamps. Let me show you what we're going to do. This is a little bit ahead of schedule because my project is really geared to the fall, but when I saw the Conservatory Labels, the mold, I knew I had to create this. So look at how cute this is. Now this is just the mold on the brown bottle, but imagine it fall and Halloween time, and you can make a whole plethora of different ones like this with castor oil, eye of newt, all just kind of fun stuff. So today is a short video on how I created this. Here is the new Conservatory Labels Mold by Iron Orchid Designs. This is from the new release, Q1 of 2024. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with some modeling paste. This will dry and you will be able to bend or wrap it around whatever your surface is. It won't get hard, so it'll just stay nice and pliable. But this will only work if it is on a thin mold. If the mold is too thick, it'll take too long to dry and it might not ever dry. But this mold is a little bit thinner than other Iron Orchid Design molds, and that was designed on purpose. That way, when you put something like this, a label on an object, let's say a bottle, you don't want it to stick out too far. So that's the reason why they are a little bit thinner. The micro rim and the palette knife are just simply amazing to work together. You just let them dry for 24 hours, sometimes a little bit longer. I have to admit, see how that was kind of stuck in there a little bit? I didn't wait the full 24 hours, but look, this one came out just fine. And look, see how it bends? And it'll stay that way. It doesn't get hard. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out anyway. It's a little soft in the middle, but I'm just going to use my finger and smooth it out. Here's a look at all of them. You'll notice that you don't get quite as a clean, crisp impression as you do with, say, the clay or resin, but it does the trick. Plus, they are forever able to manipulate around whatever surface you have. So I'm going to give the labels a little coat of chalk paint, and then we're going to go ahead and pick one out and stamp it to go around our brown bottle. When I first saw the Conservatory mold labels, I knew that I had to make something for Halloween. I just love fall and Halloween, so I thought these would be perfect on one of the old brown Clorox bottles, and I thought poison would be sufficient for the Halloween theme. I'm only making one because Halloween's so far away, but I know when it gets closer to fall, I'll be making a lot more of these. Let me grab the Apothecary Labels Stamps, and we are going to pick a font because there are 4 different sizes on here. I want to pick one that's going to fit just perfectly inside of this label, and I'm going to choose the word poison. So there's only one O, so I'll just have to put my letters down and then stamp it, and then just take the O and add it one more time. I did find it a little tricky working with these letters. They are very tiny, and I've got big fingers, and I'm kind of like a bowl in a china shop. You can tell by looking at my fingers, I have paint, everything on them. I'm a messy person, crafting. So they were a little difficult to work with. I finally did dig out some tweezers, which helped tremendously in getting my stamps to stay where I wanted them. Also, I should have probably put them on the thin mount, but because I'm in transition to moving to another state, I've got supplies everywhere, and I couldn't find the thin mount, so I'm just going to do it this way. So, but keep in mind, you can always use a thin mount, and that'll keep your letters in place. Once I have my letters where I want them, I'm going to take a piece of the plastic that was on the other side of the stamps when I pulled it off. I'm just going to repurpose it, and I'm going to just push it onto the letters, and it'll pick up the letters. Then I'll use my IOD ink pad, and I'll just lightly ink onto the stamp. And then I'm going to push it onto the Conservatory label, and you'll notice when I lift it up, there is a little bit of an impression. Now, normally there would not be an impression, but since I didn't wait the full 24 hours for the modeling paste to dry, it gave me a little impression, but which I like. It looks good. And keep in mind, you can do this with the air dry clay anytime you want. You could just use the clay, stamp into the clay, and then it'll dry hard like this. Now this will dry hard like this too. The modeling paste will, especially once it has given the proper amount of time to dry. So now I'm going to add some detail to this label. I'm just going to outline the frame in some black. Then I'm going to add some gold leaf around the edges. Next, you add your glue that's going to keep the gold flakes on. Once that has dried from white to clear and becomes tacky, you're just going to sprinkle on some gold flakes and you're going to rub them with a brush, making sure you cover every area that you put the glue on. So I'm just going to brush away the extra gold. And then once I get that all cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and just give it a quick seal with the clear coat varnish. And for one final touch to this label, I'm going to use some dark wax, and I'm just going to rub it around the edge of the gold just to make it look and appear a little bit antiqued or aged. Once the clear coat dries, it is ready to be placed on the bottle. So I'm going to do that by using some heavy body gel. I'm just going to spread it along the back, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to roll it out and put it on the round bottle. I did go back in and use some white paint along the end because I felt the black paint had smudged just a bit. But here's the final project. What do you think? Can't wait to make more during the fall season.